I'm Phil.
And I'm Angelina.
With our husky lightning and a lot of wildlife around us, we live in this fairy tale chateau in France.
We love bringing this neglected castle back to life inside.
And we've got the vast grounds and parkland to take care of as well.
We love the moat, but it brings some challenges with it.
But it's all worth it when we get to share it with everyone at our live music events.
Follow the ups and downs of our chateau life.
Okay, so we have a terrible, terrible storm which is going to be rolling in overnight tonight and the next couple of days. In fact, in the UK, before it rolls down from the UK and then hits northern France, which is where we are, there's danger to life warnings and all sorts for the UK, which doesn't bode particularly well for this place if the winds do hit it that strong, because as we've always said, the trees here are enormous and quite an issue. They really haven't been looked after in some time, which is why we had to get that satellite internet, because the phone line is impossible here because it just gets destroyed every time there's a slight storm. I can already feel the wind slightly starting to pick up, but it should be okay. So I'm gonna just have a quick look around with the drone. Although we're pretty good here because we do have a new roof, let's give it a go, see if it's too windy for it or not. There we go. Go fly. Okay, see what happens. So far, so good. Although we haven't got any GPS at the moment. Let's see what's going on. Cool, isn't it? So, this is literally what I see. That's what the camera's seeing. So, let's give it a go. You can see the amount of trees around here and just how big they all are, which is a bit of an issue for light during the summer, but in the winter, with really wet grounds, a high water table because of the lakes and moat, and strong winds, that can spell disaster. There it is, going round and round the house, and there we go, high wind velocity. It's too windy up there, let's get it back in. I'll go out into the back garden. It's a bit cold, I'll put my hat on. And I'll show you exactly what happens when you leave the trees to go for too long, and also why that's a bit of a worry in these storms. Also, why we've never been able to get fibre optic or anything sort of decent internet at this place, which is something you've got to think about if you're going to move to rural France. As pretty as this little back garden is, it is extremely overgrown. Although you don't think that. Now, these two trees are a very good example. See the lean on those? Because they are going to the light, basically. They're all fighting for the light, that's why they're going up and then that way, because everything around this garden is competing for light against other stuff, because everything is planted too closely together and is way too big. They are probably twice the height of the chateau. Thankfully, they're far enough away from it, but that's an example of some things that we've had to deal with. And they do fall over, as I've shown you before. That's two over there that fell over before. And there's another massive one over there. That one's being held up by a rope because I don't want it to fall in the moat right now. And well, here's something that's a bit ludicrous. So, see our lightning conductor up there, so the house won't get hit by lightning. The copper beech right next to it is taller, and if that gets hit by lightning, that will explode and probably fall down and take out this wing. So that's one of the reasons why the cherry picker in tree surgery is extremely important. But let me show you the main driveway, because that's even worse, and hopefully that will explain a few things. Let's go. Decided to go a different way. Much easier. Alright. So, yeah. Look at that one. That one's going to be coming down anytime soon. They're already blowing around. This one obviously came down beforehand. Come out to a wet, boggy area wearing trainers. Oops. Oh, hang on. Here's another example. Most of this is because we have so much water around us, so you need to lower the water levels so the banks are drier in the winter when you get the storms. That's a weeping willow that's fallen across. That's got to go this year. Right, out to the main drive. That's actually sinking. We used to be able to put a row underneath that like an arch. Now I think the ducks will struggle to go underneath it. Right, let's carry on. Out to the side entrance. The hidden view up there to the chapel. And that's, oh, actually, I wonder if I can get up there now. Yeah. Right, that's easier. Yeah. This little arch, that used to also go down the entire front drive. That was redirected at some point by a farmer years ago. A bit criminal, really. That's 1735 there on that, and an old pedestrian bridge in. Needs a bit of work, I think. Right. The secret entrance. Looks like the entrance to Farmer's Fields, which is much better. Right, main driveway. Horrible place to be in winds like this. And phone line goes all the way up the side of it. Now, the problem is that phone line gets broken extremely easily with falling branches. And these massive lime trees, when they get to maturity, they tend to simply just crack in the middle under their own weight. Just like that. There's a few on this driveway which are being held up together with chains, and there's a few which didn't survive. But, well, it's already started. You can see that one, and you can see the size of branches which come down in this sort of weather. I'm not going to get too close to that one. And that's why we just cannot have decent quality phone line internet, because the phone line is consistently broken. It's also why we can't have fibre optic, because that's even worse, which is why we've gone for that satellite. The wind is definitely picking up now. Might have to go back inside. Well, if apparently Storm Eunice, might be, that's what it's called, Storm Eunice, 100-mile-an-hour winds are predicted, I cannot see that leaning tree still being upright after this. So that'll be the phone line and the internet cable down. So I'm quite happy we have that satellite internet. I mean, we had the 4G internet before, so the little phone sim, but this will be better, I hope. definitely faster. You look at that. Now, I do appreciate that I'm sitting there talking about storms, and this little flower bed is extremely untidy. Daffodils are starting to come up. Oh yeah, look! Yeah! There's some here too. They're all coming up. Oh, it really is. More! Yes! It's time. And then listen to the birds. It is spring, isn't it? Around the corner. It's almost here. Winter's almost over. Spring is almost here. The storm is starting to hit this morning. Now, obviously, I've been out and about helping a friend, rescuing them from car issues. That was quite a late night last night, and it felt quite mild when we got in, although the rain started coming. This morning, fairly windy, and well, just the strong rains just come in. But because of the wind, I reckon I've been chancing my luck out here far too much, with potential for falling trees to fall on my trailers. And because there's lots of trees everywhere, there's no really to park them. So I'm going to go out and do play musical trailers quickly, and hope for the best. Because given the fact I think one came down last storm and missed my trailers by about 6 foot, I think I've probably pushed my luck far enough. So best do that. For anyone that hasn't seen before and why I get scared, this is one tree that came down. That's another. There are my trailers. So let's get everything moved around, because the biggest problem when you get strong winds is when it's a waterlogged ground, as that's where it goes wrong, and they simply come up, root system and everything. And as you can tell, pretty wet. Okay, everything's out of the back garden, which is where it can, the big trees which do fall over are. Can't park them anywhere where there aren't trees, but I put them underneath the ones which have been cut back more recently and are on more stable ground, so fingers crossed. But I have destroyed the garden. This one I was most worried about. That used to be a nice patch of grass. Horse box. That's just one of the wheels was stuck on, so that's just destroyed itself. And yeah, I think I'm gonna need some grass seed. I'm not even walking in that. Yeah, it'll be some grass seed after this lot's passed and flat that one lot down, but better than trees being on top of trailers.